Hello there. Good morning. So welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. This is Sunday the 10th. Oh, this is Sunday, day 10 of balance. And so Sundays we hang out on the floor. And I was thinking again about resources today. And I've said this before, and I'm just going to say it again because it really is something worth repeating. So resources are It's the inside space of you. And resources need to be equal or greater than the pressure and the forces from the outside. And so life is a certain amount of pressure, and that has a certain varying degree of force or stress to it. It's just normal, you know what I mean? Normal life. And then sometimes it goes up and it's always there. And if our resources are equal or greater, then we're swinging like we're swimming. It's wonderful. Like we're able to manage what's happening. Life is happening, and we're able. If our resources are less than the forces and the pressures from the outside, then we're getting overwhelmed, or we're getting really stressed, and we're moving into fight or flight, which is, anxiety or anger or irritation. And so our job isn't to change what happens on the outside. We can't control that. Well, some of it we can, but most of it we can't. It's to build the resources from the inside. So building resources looks like doing your yoga, taking time for yourself, defining boundaries, eating the right food, drinking water, getting enough sleep, having healthy relationships. All these things build the inside spaces of us. And that's our job, is how do we cultivate a sense of inner wellness and inner okayness to manage and meet the world around us. So today we're going to rest deeply on the floor and roll and connect. So yeah, where are your resources? How do you balance the inside of you with the outside of you? What skills and tools do you have? What are you cultivating on a daily basis? So today we're going to actually roll up our mats a little bit for the first bit. So get your yoga mat and roll it up into a roll. And so this yoga mat is really quite skinny, the top one. I have two yoga mats. And so the roll that I'm doing is maybe 2 inches high. Okay, so if you have a really thick yoga mat, then it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, and I'm going to now place this roll. I'm going to lie down on it. So I'm going to turn and then place the lower part of my shoulder blades. So just along the back of my rib cage and kind of midway down the middle of my spine. And then I'm going to drop myself down, and it should feel like there's something slightly pokey into my rib cage. Okay? And so get yourself settled. It should feel comfortable. If it's uncomfortable, then make the roll smaller. Okay? Just land. So what this thing is doing is reminding or encouraging or giving a reference to the back of our rib cage. It's going, hello, you should relax. And your back is going, what? What? I don't understand. So for me, I want to lengthen the lower back. I want to make sure that my neck isn't cranking. So I'm going to tuck my chin in a little bit more and then create a little bit more space through my shoulders. And how I do that is I lift one arm up towards the ceiling and pull from the deep of my spine, and then drop my shoulder back, and then reach the other arm up towards the ceiling, pull, and then drop it back. So now I feel like there's much more space. My chin is slightly tucked in, my arms are wide. And now the reminder of the middle of my back, I'm able to really soften into it. So just deepen your breath into your belly. I never know what you can hear or not, but Yosa's playing cello. Perhaps you can hear him playing cello. So settle. How do you soften even more? Breathe into the place where the yoga mat is meeting you. And then as you exhale, really let yourself sink and melt backwards. You can, if you want, bring your arms overhead. It isn't as effective. Arms wide is more effective in resting through the back. Sometimes to balance, we do more. Sometimes to balance, we do less. Deepen your breath into your belly and see if you can rest a little bit more. So I always find myself, I'm resisting by rising slightly. And then I go, oh, that's right. And then I surrender my weight again. So how do I really surrender? Keep moving your neck or your shoulders and really rest deeply. I don't know if you can hear Goldilocks, the cockadoodle doing there. Chico snoring. Just another 30 seconds or so until we come off the mat. So just feel that. How do you drop just that little bit more? Nice. So slowly roll off your mat, rolling over to the side, and then flick out your mat and just come lie back on your back and see, oh, wow, how does your back feel on the floor? Mine feels really nice. No, it's only around 2.5, 3 minutes. So it's a really nice thing to find and deepen into the rib cage. So nice. So just bring your arms wide, your knees are bent, and just rock your knees from side to side. Just feel down into your hips, down into your belly. And just allow yourself to begin to move and lengthen and connect. That quality of moving like honey again. How do I move and hear the whole range of the movement? So I'm staying with all of the movement rather than just feeling the ends where it's a little bit more uncomfortable. Nice. From here, reach both arms up towards the ceiling and then reach the right hand a little bit higher. I keep my head on the floor and then drop the right shoulder down. And then reach the left shoulder a bit higher, left hand higher. Just feel that you're reaching. And as I reach through the left hand, my left hip and shoulder lift off the floor. And as I reach through the right hand, my right hip and shoulder lift off the floor. So how do you move like honey here? How do you feel the full range and yet reach powerfully and steadily, moving slowly and connecting? Nice. Reach your arms wide. I'm going to tuck my chin in, lengthen through the back of my neck, and then drop both knees down to the right. Bend your left elbow and then glide your left hand over towards the right and maybe beyond. And then pull your left elbow back. Keep looking at your right hand. Glide your left hand towards the right. And I'm really deepening into my ribcage. I have this reach, a squeeze at the end. And then glide your left elbow back. Just do that a few times, rolling across that right shoulder, reaching with the left hand. And then back. Last time. Reaching. And then coming back. Both arms are wide, feet are flat on the floor. And then go to the other side. Drop your knees down to the left. And then glide the right hand over like a helicopter. And then reach as far as you can. And then pull the right elbow back. Bring the elbow to the floor. Keep looking to the left. And then roll. So how do you roll and glide deeply into the rib cage? For me, there's like this squeeze at the end. It's just so delicious. So just feel that. But all the time as I roll and move like honey across that left shoulder, I'm really appreciating the movement through the whole of my rib cage. One more time. squeeze, and then come all the way back. Nice. Again, place yourself so you feel straight. I kind of lift my shoulders by pushing my head down, lift my hips by pushing my feet down, and then roll up along the spine. So squeeze through your bum as you rise, and then just roll up and down along the spine. And I always use the analogy of a rolling pin. So it's like I'm rolling out my spine, and I'm using the contact of the floor to deeply push each part of the spine down into the floor. So it's not about the lifting per se, it's about the moment of push as I rise, as I travel with my weight along the spine. I just feel that. How do you roll? How do you roll? Nice. Next time that you rise, pause. Feet are steady on the floor. Your knees are slightly moving towards each other. Your hips are high. Your bum is squeezing, and your arms are connected to the floor beside you. And just notice maybe you can lift your chest a little bit higher, or so there's a sense of opening through the front of your body. Really just enjoy the power and connection. Nice. Lower your bum halfway down and then gently just sway your knees from side to side. So now we're feeling into that which binds us. It's like the sides of the hips, the sides of the knees, the sides of the ankles, the inner thighs, the outer thighs. How do you travel? Some of you maybe are dropping your knees quite far to side. Some of you is very small. Doesn't matter. It's you finding your range, your ability, and rolling in that. And just hear the yum of your hips. Really listen to how you move in your body. Nice. Lower your feet all the way, or your bum all the way down. Pause. Nice. So lift both feet off the floor. Last time in Move, we did bicycle. We've done bicycle all the way through at different stages. So lengthen your right leg up and point through your toes so that your right toes are pointing up, somewhere up. And then flex your heel and lower your right heel down so that it lowers down until it's just above the floor. Bend your right knee, lengthen it up, and then lower your right leg down. So as we move, the knee travels up, bent, and then it travels down straight. But find your version of that. Knee travels up straight, and then leg travels down. One more time. Knee travels up straight, moving like honey, feeling that through the body. And then bend your right knee up onto your chest. Lengthen out through the left leg, toes pointed. And then send your heel away, lower your left leg down until it floats just above the floor. And then bend your knee. Lengthen up. Travel down, your leg is straight. Bend your knee. You're traveling up, point through the leg. So there's this moment of length, dropping down, bend your knee, lengthen your leg. Dropping down, bend your knee, lengthen your leg. And now we're going to do both. I just love this movement. I love it. So lengthen through the right leg and then lower it down. And as your right leg is lowering down, your left leg is rising up. And as your left leg is lowering down, your right leg is bent and rising up. Left knee is bent, rising up. Right knee is bent and rising up. So one leg is descending and one leg is rising. Find your version of this. Find your speed in this. Moving like honey, and let it be that there's a deep sense of lengthening through your legs and a stretching through your legs as you move. That it's very powerful to move your legs in space, and very powerful to lengthen. One more time each side. Oh, wonderful. Bring both feet to the floor. Pause. Nice. So bring your feet so they're mat distance apart. You should feel the mat underneath the soles of your feet. Bring your arms wide. And then drop both knees to the left. And then glide your right arm overhead so that it's reaching overhead above you. Okay? And then bend your right knee up towards you. And then glide your right foot back. And as you glide your right foot back, let your right hand travel towards your left. And then as your knee comes up, it rests overhead. So I'm just allowing that the pendulum of my torso is balancing the movement of my knee. So my right foot is traveling back and my right knee is traveling forward. And so I'm balancing my upper body. So if you don't move your right arm, so just leave your right arm where it is. There's a certain point where as your foot goes back, you can't go back very far because you'll lose, oh, it's actually okay actually, but you lose that sense of, if you allow your hand to travel naturally, and then you start to feel how you counterweight that leg. You can swing your leg straight, a bit like what we were doing just a moment ago. Swing your right leg straight. Maybe your right arm has to travel a little bit more as you travel straight. One more time. Nice. Come back up to center. Just squeeze the right knee up onto your chest. Hug it in. And stretch the left leg long. Just sink into the floor. Pause there. How nice. Both feet to the floor. Feet are mat distance apart. Bring your arms wide. You can bring the left hand already overhead so it rests on the floor. And then roll over onto your left side so that you're resting on your right arm and your left arm is overhead. And then glide your left knee forward. And notice what you have to do in your torso to balance that. And then glide your left foot back and let your hand slide. So as I move, I'm allowing my body to balance itself. There's different ideologies. Some of them are that you should be really rigid through your core and allow the mobility to happen in certain joints, or other ones are that you allow the body to counterbalance itself. Each one is valid. You do different ones at different stages. Today we're counterbalancing. And then maybe glide your legs straight to move away from the wall. Nice. So as you glide your legs straight, how does that change the dynamic of your arm? My left, what is that shoulder? The right shoulder on the floor feels really yummy as I do this. It's getting this very deep sense of a squeeze. Nice. One more time. Nice. Come lie on your back again. Squeeze the left knee up onto your chest. Hug it in. Stretch the right leg long. Nice. Squeeze both knees towards you. Hug them both in. Breathing into your belly. Just rock gently from side to side. Nice. Come into happy baby pose. So either hold on behind your knees, where your hands are resting on the back of your knees and the weight of that is pulling your knees down. You can hold on to your ankles so that the weight of your arms are pulling your knees down, or hold on to the soles of your feet so the weight of your hands are pulling your knees down. And then just settle in. Just deepen your breath. Nice. Bring both feet to the floor. Bring your hands to your heart and just think of all the things that you're grateful for. One thing that you're grateful for today. As you hold your heart, feel the space that your hands are holding and breathe into that area or feel into that area. And then just turn your eyes from side to side and keep focusing on that area. So as your eyes glide to the right, keep feeling the place where you're breathing into beneath your hands. And as you glide your hands to the eyes to the left, feel into the area. Wiggle your toes. If you can, wiggle your eyebrows at the same time. So we're like multitasking like mad. Eyes are moving. You're feeling into your chest. Your eyebrows are moving. Your toes are moving. And then just come to rest in the middle. And just feel into the area where your hands are holding. So even though it's confusing to do loads of extra things in that moment, it's a bit like learning how to juggle with 3 balls or 4 balls. And then suddenly when you go back to just 1 ball, it just feels so easy, but also your attention has become more focused. So practicing doing other things as well as focusing on the chest and the feeling in your chest really increases your focus. So, nice guys, very lovely Sunday morning. Think about your resources. What resources you? I'm going for a walk this morning. I might even get into the sea. It's been ages since I've been in the sea. And yeah, just loads of things resourcing me. Nice. My back feels really good after that lovely resting on the yoga mat. So yeah, tell me how you get on with it. It shouldn't feel uncomfortable. There should be no pain. And yeah, be well. Find your balance. Notice what resources you and cultivate that. Great. Have a glorious Sunday. And I will see you all tomorrow morning for another delightfully wonderful installation of balance.